Mr. President said that we have a peace deal with Iran. Again, it was just announced that there was a possible attack for a vessel that was trying to cross the Strait of Hormuz, but this can't be possible. It has to be fake news, right? Because our president, Mr. Trump, shared that he is in full control of the Strait of Hormuz. He says that he's working on a peace deal with Iran, right? It's not like it's like the 22nd week in a row where he claims peace, but just follows up with an attack. No, wait, there's no way, right? Wait, why are markets dropping during the overnight hours? No, they're just pulling back a little bit, Rick, right? They're just pulling back. They're still kind of at the levels where markets closed at. We're still up 1.7%. Oh, wait. Why is it still drop? Well, wait, what? 1.5% drop for Micron after market hours? But Mr. President, you said that we have a peace deal with Iran, that you control the Strait of Hormuz. You're here to tell me that our president, in the highest position of power, is sharing fake news to influence the market just to rug pull everyone? There's no way. Not our president, not ours. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky. Just wanted to keep you guys up to date. What an interesting day. First off, let me show you. If you think you're bothered by this loss, this pullback alone, I would have not traded it during the overnight hours. They're very, very convenient with their time, huh? You can't short during overnight hours. Yes, I understand that you can go into a double leverage inverse ETF. I don't want to do that, right? This is an incredibly volatile stock, and from overall lows today to overall highs, it went from 770 up to, what was it, like 840? Let's check. From the highs that we made, a 9.6% range from lows to highs. Obviously, it's impossible to catch the full move, but right, it's just more of the opportunity. I just hate that this news and the selling pressure always kicks in during the overnight hours. You guys let me know down in the comment section. Do you think they do it intentionally? I don't know if we're going to learn more or hear more news, because it actually looks like the semiconductor stocks are selling off harder. Like Micron is down 2% during the overnight hours. NASDAQ is not down that bad, right? So I wonder if we're going to hear news about the South Korean market that just simply hasn't been shared yet, because SKHY is actually leading this sell-off, down 2% on the day. But I wanted to show you, I was down $1,100 on the day. I was actually down a little bit more and then a little bit less. It was a break-even day. Then I was kind of in profit, and then direction turned against me. I shared, if you're part of my LPP team, go and watch today's live trading session. It wasn't like a good one in the sense of I didn't make a bunch of money, but what we talked about, I made a mistake. I make mistakes every week and sometimes every day, right? I'm not a perfect trader. It's part of the process, right? My job is not to avoid risk. My job is to manage it. And what I shared in that live stream, talking about position size management and the guideline that I set for myself, that restriction is what helped me. I mean, I technically made the same mistake I made on Thursday, but I fixed my position size. So instead of taking a $7,000 to $8,000 loss, it was only $1,000. And to me, like, I can take those losses all day, right? Direction was just very strong. And obviously there's days that you just don't want to trade against it. I respect that. I'll take the loss, right? Accept it. I'm very pleased with I'm not pleased with the market. Like, obviously I thought it was irrational in the way that it was recovering, yet there's no positive news, but we know it, right? Markets are incredibly irrational. They love to feed into the Trump drama. We all know it's fake, right? We all know that there is no truth to what he says. It's just another opportunity for him to attack again and then rug pull markets for those that, again, are naive enough to buy into it. So that's why in today's earlier video, all I talked about was, I used more Amazon stock as an example, right? Because Amazon was up an additional like 4 to 5% on the day. And if you looked at the kind of larger time frame, right, you could see that everyone's celebrating Amazon's at a $3 trillion market cap. Yeah, Amazon has gapped up over 24% in 3 trading days. That should be a red flag. That's, again, maybe not for everyone. This should be an indicator that, okay, markets have recovered very quickly, very aggressively, and now some very valuable companies are making new all-time highs very quickly and very aggressively. What is the biggest mistake traders and investors make at these levels? They double down, they over leverage themselves, right? They buy more. Michael Saylor is a great example. Leopold is a great example. The South Korean market, unfortunately, is a great example. Over leveraged traders at overbought levels. That's all I want to share with you, right? Of like, hey, just be self-aware of how quick markets have gapped up. It's not a signal to sell your long-term investments. I own Amazon. I have no intention of selling all of it, but I'm for sure not going to buy more at these levels. And I might entertain the idea of trimming a portion of my position because we know that corrections are inevitable, especially when they pump up so quickly and so irrationally, right? This week, we do have earnings that are presenting themselves. I also just got an alert that NASDAQ just made new lows. So something to look out for. It looks like we just broke below 700. So in tomorrow's live trading session, I want to follow up and see where it actually opens at. But the one thing I wanted to share with you is while we were talking about Amazon monster insider trading alert. Founder Jeff Bezos dumped $4 billion worth of Amazon. You're telling me that after this stock rips up 24%, he just conveniently sells $4 billion? Again, $4 billion for him is a drop in the bucket, right? Like, if I don't know if this one discloses his overall position size and what he actually owns. Number of shares. Yeah, outstanding shares. Like, the dude's loaded, right? Like, I wouldn't view this as, oh my gosh, he's selling, I need to sell everything. No, I think that he maybe just sees it as a good, opportunity to trim at possible levels where there could be more potential downside. And we'll see. We'll see how things fall up. I just wanted to make sure that I did my part in making you aware. Not to offend you. I'm not trying to encourage you to sell. There's a bunch of people that get so offended. Ricky, why are you always talking about risk? Because everyone else talks about trying to make a profit, right? What is the biggest mistake traders make? Is it making too much profit? No, it's not taking risk serious enough or into consideration. You can grow your account very aggressively, very quickly. There are scenarios like that, right? There are stories like that. But what is the biggest and most common mistake they all make? They don't manage risk. And at those elevated levels, if you continue to over leverage yourself and think that you're invincible, just like Leopold quickly found out with leverage, and when it turns against you at the most aggressive position size you've ever had, you can quickly give back all that you've gained. Again, just using them as an example. I've experienced it firsthand myself as well, and many of you also, right? So it's not coming out of left field, and I hope that you don't see it as me personally trying to discourage you from investing. I think investing is one of the greatest things that you can do, but it's important to take overbought and oversold levels into consideration with exposure, right? Know when to begin to gain more exposure and maybe when to trim more exposure, right? Very simple to understand. And there it goes. Just while we're speaking, SKHY down another 2.2%. Micron has now hit 2% in the red. The FOMO, let's see, from overall highs to overall lows, 3.9% with a $100,000 trade, which is what I was staying within. Obviously, I would never have caught the full move, but how beautiful, right? Of course, just during the overnight hours. As soon as I find out what it is that is being factored in right now, because there has to be something, I'll do my part in keeping you up to date, and I'll share it. If you're part of our LPP group, I'll share it with you in our Discord, or I guess you can just follow for updates and it'll just be delayed, but it's fine, right? So second link down below if you want to join our LPP group, daily live trading sessions. There's a few of you that asked, Ricky, can I watch you trade live before I join? I love that you asked that. Second link down below, when you get to our homepage, click preview live trading. It's a recent live trading session and it's just uploaded. There's nothing to it, right? This is exactly what you experience daily. So even before you join, you know exactly what to expect. If you like it, great. If not, then don't join, right? Very simple. One-time payment, lifetime access, no subscription. Second link down below. so you can take advantage of the current sale that we have going on. So I really do appreciate you guys' time. Again, we do have earnings tomorrow. For those that do not know, a handful of different companies, AMD, SpaceX reporting earnings for the first time. McDonald's are going to be reporting tomorrow. Open Door, very excited about that one. Just kidding. I appreciate you guys' time. I hope to see you tomorrow for our live session. Second link down below. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team, and happy Monday.